Okay, how about dematerialism? Ready for that one? It's a little tough one. So this is, well, that doesn't say Okay, well, I'll start with technophilia. I made this up. Love or enthusiasm for advanced technology. This is another part of sustainability. Everybody loves their gadgets. How many people have an iPhone? Raise your hand.
Oh.
No iPhone?
No.
And then, it's like, hey, did you hear the new operating system's out for the iPhone? Let me wake up the next morning and see the different buttons and see how cool it is. Everybody's like, really? Look at my iPhone. Look at the apps I have. It's ridiculous, completely. And yet, we're addicted to our technology, right? I don't think there's anything fundamentally evil about liking technology. There are some people that say that sustainability, we should just go live in a cave and just abandon technology. It's probably not realistic at that point. The real thing about sustainability is create a relationship with technology that is a positive relationship and that is used for what it is we'd like to use it for. So Flappy Bird, was it Flappy Bird?
Yeah.
I got 77, by the way. Can anybody beat that?
Angry Bird?
Angry Birds? No, I don't know how to play that. So, look at that. Look at that plane. They're actually making planes that can fly around the world with stops just using solar power. So you guys realize this plane did make it around the world eventually. Zero fossil fuel. So you remember that whole Wright brothers thing back in the early 1900s? Mm-hmm. This is like the Wright brothers. The idea that you can, now there's only one person in there, but there's only one person in the first Wright brothers plane, right? So this is only a matter of time before they can make planes that can carry 10 people. And then 20 people.
How long does it take? Is it
a long time. That's not very fast. How many people have one of those cool hybrids or one of those plug-ins? How many people would like one? Nobody even wants one? Now, because you not want one. Look, you plug it in. It's cool. It connects to your iPhone, right? Your iPhone tells you, I don't know, just making that up. You got to have one of these. These are these new Nest thermostats that it kind of watches your motion and when you come in and out of the house and it starts setting the thermostat for you. It's pretty cool, right? I don't know. I have a point here, by the way. I'm getting towards something. So I'm going to come back to that. So let's think about what's happening in the 21st century. We talked about it being in a new worldview. Talk about being in an integrated worldview. We're also in a dematerialized state. Think about all of the energy you need to support that. Think about all the fossil fuels you need, all the electricity you need, libraries, banks, maps, universities, offices, department stores. That amount of energy to support that is not sustainable given our current pathway. Would you all agree with that? So why don't we just do that? Why don't we just get a bunch of gadgets? We don't really need all this anymore, do we? Technically, we don't need any of that. We just need these. These things right here. We got this, will be that, and we got this, will be this, and all of that. All of you have been shopping on Amazon, right? Have you shopped on Amazon? What's wrong with you? That's not sustainable. You should go to your local department store and support your local business. You should not be shopping on Amazon. That's a terrible thing, and yet we do it because it's convenient, right? How many of you have taken an online course somewhere? Why would you do that? Just go and be with people and study. Don't take on. I teach online all the time. I'm just kidding. Sorry, online students. I'm just joking, really. I'm just joking. And now what's happened is, now all of this is in here. All of it. You could take a course, and people do. People take my course with an iPhone. That's it. That's all they have. They don't have a university. They don't have a classroom. They don't have even all this junk. They just have that.
Yeah, but they miss the personal experience, the connection.
Yeah,
That's
they're
the reason
this is a
why I
trade.
went 6 hours so I could just
They're trading the convenience. They're trading convenience for the experience is what they're doing.
online banking, I think.
Online banking. Right. How many people actually go to a bank anymore, right?
I've discovered they have no banks. It's just completely online.
But didn't I just do a whole lecture on herbophilia? Didn't I just say that we need to connect to each other and we need to be part, right? But that's okay. These things can coexist, I think. Let's just look at this a little more carefully, though. So we have trillions of these devices now everywhere. They're made from rare earth metals, by the way, which only come from certain countries. And they require a huge infrastructure to power them. There's an invisible infrastructure behind this so-called miniaturization that actually has a lot of impact. So when you start getting trillions of these, you start needing a lot of infrastructure, and then you need a lot of energy. This is from week whatever, right? You guys recognize that? So I don't want to, I think we have to be careful about dematerialized. We're dematerializing through the use of energy. In other words, things have gotten smaller and faster. We're using a lot of energy to do that. So we haven't really become a zero energy society. We just have less physical material. However, that material is very rare. I think a lot of the African countries are the ones that have that material. It's going quickly. So I guess the thing to think about here is just be careful, about dematerialism and whether it's really happening or not. Is it happening though? Are you guys finding that you have less material objects in your life? Hopefully.
You have a Kindle now, no more books.
Kindles, right? I mean, what do you think? Are we look, the tiny house, right? I think I have a slide on the tiny house. Do you guys want to live in a tiny house? There it is, right there. I have no desire to live that way, but younger people, for some reason, love this concept. Why do people? How many people in here want to live in this tiny house?
Because I feel like it just creates less anxiety and just you don't have to worry about.
It's easy.
How could you possibly worry about anything? There's nothing there.
Low energy bills, and then you can get up and move wherever you want.
You have family, right? I guarantee you that a tiny house only works for one person.
I agree.
I had a friend who was dating a person, and they moved into an efficiency apartment. Beautiful apartment, but it was an efficiency. And I told my wife I'd give them 5 months. Sure enough, 5 months later, they were totally separated. People do need the ability to separate at some times, right? I mean, that is a tough way to live, right? I mean, I'm all about connection between people, but who said it can move away? You said it can move.
Like if you find a job somewhere else, you can.
I mean, the reality is these aren't going to move much, right? I mean, the first thing that goes in a tornado is all the mobile homes are the first things to go up, right? It's like if you have a mobile home, why didn't you put it on a trailer and get out of there, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's why you have insurance.
but you're not going to move. I mean, realistically, and this is where I'm showing my age, right? Because I'm not into this. I'm just not into this at all. But I can see my kids are like, yeah, Dad, we're going to build a tiny house in the backyard, and we're going to.
It's not like a Fortnite house.
Is it sustainable, though?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a lot less material, number one. Less energy, right?
You can move
less
to places.
space.
You don't have to build a house somewhere else.
You can move it. I guess that makes it sustainable. Is it sustainable? So it's sustainable on a objective standpoint of looking at.
You said a tornado. I mean, if there's going to be a tornado, you just hook it up to your truck.
You ain't gonna do
If we
it.
put
No.
that quadrant, the experience will be.
Yeah. What is the experience in the tiny house?
Right.
What about your 4 quadrants?
Thinking
What?
about the 4 quadrants.
I don't know.
Let's look inside of it.
There's a plan. I mean,
It's natural. It's biofilm. It has all the wood.
it's got biophilia. It's got some structure. There's your toilet right there. Oh my God. This-
When can I move in?
I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, right.